don't pull on Superman's cape, don't spit in the wind, and don't ever doubt Jared Cannonier ever again. Yusuf, use Pika Punch, and Speed Bolt. I feel like that's close. We're getting closer. How about this? Here's the actual one. Yusuf, use Quick Attack, right? Classic. And Agility. Because wasn't that the story of the fight? If you were to assess his success, it would be athleticism. More athleticism, more agility. This is the one. This is the one with Quick Attack and the one with Agility. For the most part, the whole card was youngsters make it big. You know, youngsters outdo the olds, but there were two veterans who really, I guess, proved the haters wrong and came out on top, and that would obviously be Jared Cannonier. Let's give a clap for an amazing performance. Wow. I mean, talk about violence. And then Angela Hill. The two oldest people on the card were the ones who came out on top. And I mean, Jared especially. Holy cow, what a performance. Round one, it was looking pretty RoboCop. You know, he was breaking through with that right hand, looking for the death blow, though, you know, like turning up the speed right away. Like he was trying to kill Jared, like right off the gate. He was going for it. And that might have been to his detriment because come round two, he was a little bit slower. His hands, RoboCop's hands, were already dropping down to his waist. And Jared was seeing that right hand more. Because that's the thing about Jared, is he makes adjustments. If there's one thing about Jared, is that he's a super smart cookie. And he was reading in the first round, did his notes, came back, knowing exactly what to expect, was seeing the right hand from RoboCop, and RoboCop was slowing it down. So at that point, it was pretty 1-1. And then round three, things were slowing a bit on both ends. RoboCop playing the safer fight overall, you know, pretty even. Jared was pressing forward, but by the end, we were swinging. Okay, we were going for broke. And speaking of swinging, RoboCop's hands were down yet again, looping it out, and so Jared drops him with a nasty elbow. Oh my gosh, and as John put it, at that point, RoboCop was malfunctioning. Okay, he looked terrible. He looked terrible by the end of that round. It looked like it was already over, and that's because it was. Fourth round comes along, Jared comes out swinging heavy, hits him with a body shot, and then Gregory is down. Gregory is down. And Jared gets the TKO. Wow. What a comeback. Shout out to John for dealing with DC's bullying. I mean, he was like quizzing him all night, being so mean. He's like, do you know who Easy is? And John's like, yeah, I do, the rapper. And DC's like, oh, haha, you do? Like, wow. And he got it, you know, I guess he schooled John for not knowing who someone else was earlier. It's just not very nice, honestly. DC, don't be so mean. So DC, quit bullying John. Anyway, Gregory did not go to the ground at all in that fight, and maybe that was to his detriment. I mean, as many of us know, he's a very decorated BJJ artist, but he just wants to swing. And it proved to be the wrong decision against Mr. Cannonier. Yep. All right. Co-main event. I knew we were going to be getting some featherweight flair. I knew we were going to get some charge, lightning tail. I knew that we were going to get some quick attack, some agility. I knew that we were going to get a little bit of spark. And we did. Yusuf, wow. I knew we were going to get a little Pika Punch. A little bit of Pika Punch. See, that's pretty close. I'm kind of torn. What's more accurate to Yusuf? Pika Punch and Speed Bolt. Okay, no, that's the one. It's decided. Because, yeah, Pika Punch, that one's so cute and sweet looking, too. Just like him. He's a cute sweetie, but man, has he got the agility, has he got the athleticism. Yeah, first round, it looked kind of like Calvin was a cat, like chasing a butterfly around, like he was like stalking very intently, like honestly, like really, really serious. And Yusuf was just kind of like flying around, like wee, you know, circling around the octagon, and the little kitty's trying to catch him. And then round two, that butterfly got a knife. Yep, that butterfly became armed. And things got a little bit more dangerous. Yeah, and Calvin was definitely taking some damage. Yusuf was still just getting out of range. Quick attacking him, and he's out, doing his Pikachu thing, right? And then, so that's 2 rounds. Youssef. Okay, pretty definitively. I mean, Calvin was doing things here and there, but he was not striking as much. He was not as efficient. Round 3, Kattar gets pissed that he gets taken down. Only for a little bit of a split second, but you could tell it really made him mad. And you can tell he's very aware that he has to get the finish to finish the fight. Get the finish to finish the fight. Okay, it's not really what I mean to say. Get the finish to win the fight. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. He wasn't able to get Youssef the sweetie, and Youssef evolved. But he has that forever stone, so he doesn't actually evolve. He stays Pikachu, kind of like Ash's Pikachu, but Calvin really tried to get him at the end too. You know, props to Calvin on that end, but youngster came out on top, and oh my gosh, Calvin's people were booing. They were booing it up in the Apex, and it's the Apex, you know, so you can hear it. I mean, poor Joe Martinez out here trying to be like, Vegas, are you ready? Like, make some noise. Like, Apex, are you ready? And it's like 4 people. Woo. Like, he tried. Okay, he tried to hype that building up, but there's not a lot of building to hype up. And on the reverse of that, those boos were really loud. I mean, I know they're from Boston and they got to get it together, but oh my gosh, they were really booing. Like, anyway, Youssef, very respectful young man, very appreciative of an opportunity to crack into the top 10, of course, but also fight a veteran in Calvin. And he called out another veteran. I mean, we mentioned T-City in the breakdown for this fight card, and it's almost like it was a wish upon the star. I mean, nothing's booked, but he was calling out Brian Ortega. I would really love to see that fight. I want to see some battle of the submissions with 2 people who are willing to go to the death, and that was a great one. So that was featherweight flair in the co-main event. We had a lot of featherweight flair. Going down, fight number 3, Edmund Shabazian versus Dylan Budka. That was a quickie, okay? Oh my gosh, wow. TKO, click, clack. It made a sound. It was like, you know, yeah. Didn't sound good. Shabazian in his post-fight interview was saying he's trying to be more calculated like a serial killer, and then, you know, simultaneously was being congratulated on becoming a new father. So interesting how that works in this sport, that you can be trying to tap into that serial killer side, but ultimately you're still a family man. That one was quick. Second fight on the main event, lightweight, Bonefiend brother number 2 versus Nazim Sadikov, a.k.a. Spider-Man. And Sadikov was coming out with those kicks. I mean, he is the kicking man. I'm scared of those legs. And ultimately, it was a question mark kick. Wish we saw more from that fight, obviously, because it was two really talented guys who are making their way, but got to give some snaps for Spider-Man for getting that question mark kick. It's just, those are just, you know, you don't see those a lot. Hard to pull off as a TKO, hard to land in general, but so another quick fight out the door. First fight of the night, Rodolfo Vieira versus Andre Petroski. That fight was not the grappling battle that maybe some of us had our fingers crossed for. The blonde hair that Petroski was sporting was not cute. I mean, you know, live your life, make your own decisions, but I did not like that. It had my fashion police sirens going off. But, you know, you're taking a critique from just some random person in a black t-shirt, so what do I know? But, yeah, Petroski was beating up that front leg, but overall, pretty even, seemed a little bit more on Rodolfo's side, but ended up being a decision for Petroski. Kind of an odd one there. Prelim time. I thought it was going to be Angela Hill versus Kellen Souza. That was going to be the featured prelim, but, you know, we had a scramble switcheroo. And we had some more featherweight flair with Connor Mathis versus Jose Delgado. And, yeah, we're talking featherweight flair with that one because it was done quick. Got him with the back fist. Oh, man. And then the right hand over the top, like, bing! Some really sightly boxing on Delgado's part. Like, he was really seeing it. He was, you know, his eyes were locked in. It's the kind of stuff that for the regular human minds that can't process information that quickly, that's why you need the slow-mo tapes, because it really puts it in perspective. But Jose's a real nice guy. I mean, after getting a very bing bang boo, huge win, huge knockout win, Delgado debut. Can we get a Delgado debut snap? He was very humble, very grateful for the opportunity. And the story of the prelims in general was youngsters coming out on top, except for one shining veteran. But gold to the newbies. Gold went to the newbies. Well done, young, is the story. A little bit of back of the head action in the when Jose jumped on Delgado at the end. It happens. It wasn't on purpose, but yeah, pretty strong TKO. And before that, that's when we had Angela Hill versus Ketlin Souza. Pretty scrambly decision. Here we go. Souza was really trying to get in the fight. By round 2, it was really back and forth. Lots of striking, a little bit of clinch. We had some Muay Thai action. Angela Hill gets her first win via split decision. So she's been to a split decision, I think it was 6 times. And this is the first time that she's ever come out on top of a split decision. So snaps for Angela Hill. They cut her off, no interview. Like, they, hustled them out of the octagon or something like that. And they were like, bye, see you, because I think they were running late or something. I checked the clock, there's 15 minutes left before it's supposed to be the main card, and I guess they were scared that the next fight wasn't going to get done on time. At least that's my theory, because they literally didn't give her any post-fight interview and cut to commercial break, and when they were back, it was another walkout. It was Delgado and Matthews. I was like, wow, way to respect Angie, way to give the veteran her props. No fight interview, so that was weird. Was that just on my special little broadcast that I got cut off from hearing from the winner? That's great. So that was weird. That was weird and not super appropriate, just to cut off my girl Angie like that. So strange. And the funny thing is the next fight was just ended quickly. First round. So anyway. Okay, going backwards, going further back in time. 5th fight of the night was flyweights. We had undefeated Rafael Esteban coming in against Jose Aguilar, and Rafael stayed undefeated. Yeah. Went to decision, and he remained unblemished. And that's all she wrote. Fight number 4, welterweight, Chaos Williams versus Bonfim brother number 1, Gabriel, and he handed Chaos Williams his first ever finish loss. He was submitted. He went out. He went to sleep. Chaos was night. And Bonfim has finished 16 of his 17 wins so far. He really likes submissions in particular. And wow, to hand Chaos his first ever loss of that kind in that fashion, talk about firecracker. So if anybody gets some firecrackers for the night, it's Gabriel Bonfim. That was pretty crazy. Death choke submission. I mean, he was, yeah. Okay, 3rd fight of the night was bantamweights. We have another, so lots of veterans versus their newbies. Chaos Williams versus Gabriel Bonfim. That was a veteran outclassed by a newbie. And now we have, it's a young man's sport. That's what they say. So fight number 3, we had a similar setup. We had Vince Morales, veteran, versus Elijah Smith, a little 22-year-old, little Dana White's Contender Series debut. And, Vince Morales is 12 years his senior, still young, still only 34, but crazy to think about how they can be that far apart in age. Both still really young, but Elijah is super young. And, Vince Morales was looking like mayhem over there with his hairdo, kind of dating himself with that one. I love it though. It looked cute. It looked really Haley Williams actually in person in the octagon. It was looking very, very Haley Williams. I like Paramore. So cute. Love that update. So yeah, round 1, baseball bat, PP groin shot. That was tough. Yeah, that required actual recovery, and then we had a little bit of an eye poke payback. Yikes! Infringements, as John said. British John. He is too funny. He's got a lot of funny words. Infringements. That's what he used. Anyway, that's cute of him. Round 1, blood was smearing. Round 2, big slam by Smith. Round 3, Smith started to look a little bit tired. Morales' nose is bleeding. He's busted the F up. Like, he is really pieced up. Yeah, and Morales just couldn't seem to be in the right spot in that fight. He couldn't really control the distance, and he was just right at the end of all of Smith's punches. So he was taking some insane damage just right at the end of all of those punches. Couldn't see it. It was brutal, but man, he's a dog because he did not slow down and almost ended in a little bit of a choke there at the end. But decision for Smith, the rising star. So let's see. That's his debut. We'll see what's next for Smith. Second fight of the night. Two really athletic heavyweights. 6'6". Okay, big boys. And Little Walker gets a heel hook submission. Don't see a lot of those anymore now, do we? That was pretty cute. Rising star much? Vulture Walker is Rising Star 101. We got to keep our eye on this guy. He is also a sweetie, you know, thanks his wife. Good man. Okay, good man. Yes, thank your wife for her contribution to your life, love, liberty, happiness. Yes, very cool. Heel hook, Rising Star. Okay, first fight of the night, bantamweight, Julia Avila versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Biggest favorite on the card. I mean, like, it was like minus 800 or something like that. Like, come on, relax, y'all. But Portugal versus Oklahoma City, right? That's why we love this sport, because you get matchups like that. How global, how cultured is the UFC to have Oklahoma City versus Portugal? I love that. Round one was definitely a read 'em round. Avila getting, you know, feeling it out. Round two is when the cuts happened. Avila was bleeding. She was bleeding. Julia ended the round on top with a little bit of ground and pound, but it was her face still that was draining of the blood. And by round three, it was Cavalcanti control. And she controlled that whole round. So I think it was pretty definitively round one and round three for sure. Probably all three even. That was in favor of Cavalcanti, and she got that decision pretty close. That was a very fun fight. Great first fight of the card to really get you hyped up and in it, excited. That was our first young and hungry. So the battle of the veterans versus the newbies. That was the first newbie to come on top. Avila put her gloves down and retired from the sport. So respect to Avila. Great career, great woman. And Cavalcanti, rising star. And that's pretty much the story of the whole card, is you have all these newbies, all these young and hungries, a couple of debuts, and then you have people who have teetered and danced around this octagon for many years. And for the most part, it was the young bloods who found their success, but there was two shining veterans, and that is Angela Hill and Jared Cannonier. They really shined, and they are both 40. So maybe that was the real magical luck of that night, is if you're 40 years old. No, but that's what they have in common, is that they both came out on top and outclassed their younger competitors, whereas basically everybody else that night, if you were young, you were winning. You were golden. Great night of fights, earlier than usual, which we love. Again, I'm torn. So let me know if you think that Pikachu with quick attack and agility is more Youssef, or Pikachu that has Pika Punch and Speed Bolt. Honestly, it's kind of tough, because quick attack and agility, like, agility is seriously like why he won the fight, in my opinion, but it's kind of hard to resist Pika Punch. Let me know. Those are the two, though, that I think are the most Youssef. So he's my new favorite fighter. Really nice guy, it seems. Don't know him personally, but he seems like a really nice guy. Got to keep our eye out for the Moroccan Devil, because he is now in the featherweight top 15. And it's getting serious. So let's hope and pray. Let's cross our fingers for that T-City matchup, because that would be pretty dope. Take out another veteran, perhaps. Can't forget the fashion review. We had some cuckoo outfits in the building. Some good, some bad. And everybody give a congratulations to Megan O'Livy. Pregnant. On purpose. Yay, Megan. We love you. always wishing Megan the brightest love, light, and happiness, the best future possible. She holds this promotion together in many ways. Let's give a big round of applause for Megs and a future life development. And let's get into the fashion show. Not loving the bow tie. The colors that Paul chose are interesting. There's just something about the fit of the suit that's not, I don't know. Not to be too critical, he's looking good. They're all looking all right. DC loves his blue and black. Not a huge fan of that. And Megan, so cute. Oh, Megan, you are the best. Congratulations again. Pregnant. Oh my gosh, love her. Megan never fails. She always has the right lip color. She always has a cute top, and she knows business. Yeah, the last jump scare of the night. Here we go. Yep, that is. Oh, I don't really think that this is just a. This is a really interesting visual right here. Not sure how we got here. I'm not sure, we as a society, but I'm not sure how Kobe got here. But, we'll be seeing him. He'll be around for a little while longer. Not sure how long. But, yeah, the woman next to him, her face says it all. I mean, woof. But that was a jump scare. So I had to wear my chain to in honor of two really bad chain outfits. I mean, one bad chain, like, okay, please, and then a really bad chain outfit. Put a shirt on, RoboCop. Oh my goodness. That was very odd.